So, how exactly do you find a ghost? And no, I'm not talking about some spooky apparition. I mean a multi-billion-dollar war machine that is literally designed from the ground up to be completely invisible. Today, we're diving deep into the crazy world of submarine warfare to figure out the ingenious trick used to hunt these underwater predators.
Just think about that for a second. An 18,000-ton beast of pure steel, packed with the most advanced technology you can imagine, and it just vanishes under the waves. I mean, where do you even start looking for something like that? This isn't just some abstract puzzle. It's a real, high-stakes game of hide-and-seek that naval strategists have been obsessed with for over a century. You see, a modern submarine isn't just a boat that can go underwater. It's an apex predator. The crushing, dark depths of the ocean, that's its home turf. It's perfect camouflage. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate stealth weapon.
And the challenge here is just immense. These things are engineered for absolute silence. Their hulls are covered in special tiles that basically absorb sound like a sponge. They just glide through the deep, their engines barely making a whisper. Radar is useless, it can't see through water. And even sonar, the traditional tool for this kind of thing, can be fooled by decoys and all the ocean's weird acoustics.
Okay, so if you can't see the ghost, you don't just stare harder into the darkness, right? You get smart. You start looking for the evidence it leaves behind. You look for its footprint. And this is where the whole hunt gets really clever. We're not going to look for the sub itself. We're going to look for the tiny way it warps the world around it.
And believe it or not, that footprint is found on this huge invisible canvas that covers the entire planet. See, the Earth itself is a colossal magnet. It generates the stable, totally predictable magnetic field. You can almost picture it as a calm, invisible ocean of magnetic force that's always there and always constant.
Now, imagine our 18,000-ton ghost gliding silently through that magnetic ocean. Its gigantic metal hull is like dropping a huge boulder into a perfectly still pond. It doesn't make a sound, but it creates this massive, invisible ripple, a distortion in the Earth's magnetic field that follows it everywhere it goes.
This disruption, this ripple, is what scientists call a magnetic anomaly. It's a tiny, invisible hiccup in the Earth's otherwise predictable field. It is the submarine's fingerprint, a dead giveaway that reveals his presence. And just like that, our ghost isn't so ghostly anymore.
But wait, how do you actually see an invisible fingerprint on an invisible field? Well, you need a very, very special kind of magnifying glass, and that is where Magneto comes in. It stands for Magnetic Anomaly Detector, and it's the absolute key to turning this invisible clue into a concrete location.
And this is the most important part. Magneto isn't a camera. It's not a microphone. It's more like an unbelievably sensitive compass. It doesn't see the sub or hear the sub. It feels its magnetic presence. It's just listening for that one faint magnetic whisper against the normal background hum of the Earth.
This is exactly what makes Magneto a total game changer. Using old-school active sonar is like shouting ping at the top of your lungs in a library. Yeah, you might find what you're looking for, but you've also just told everyone exactly where you are. Magneto, on the other hand, is like silently reading over someone's shoulder. It is completely passive, totally stealthy. The hunter becomes just as invisible as the hunted.
All right, so we've got our invisible clue, and we've got the tool to detect it. But how do you actually use that to track a moving target in the middle of a gigantic ocean? Well, let's join the hunt and see how this incredible technology is actually put into practice. It's a really painstaking process. A patrol aircraft flies this super meticulous grid pattern over the ocean, like a detective combing a crime scene for clues. For hours, its magneto sensor might register absolutely nothing but the steady, boring hum of the Earth's magnetic field. But then, bam! A sudden spike in the readings, a little flicker on a screen. That's it. The ghost just left its footprint. The crew drops a marker, and suddenly, a huge, empty patch of ocean has a bullseye on it.
And here's the really beautiful irony in all of this. The submarine's single greatest strength, its massive, thick, impenetrable steel hull, is turned into its biggest weakness. The very thing that protects it from the crushing pressure of the deep is what gives away its location. It's just a perfect example of technological jujitsu.
The ability to detect these magnetic anomalies completely changed naval warfare. It really makes you wonder, what other invisible forces are out there shaping our world, just waiting for the right tool to bring them into the light? What else are we all blind to right now that one day we might just be able to see.